Jeff Wood, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great this early morning.
I know. I'm sorry. Thank you for accommodating. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many scheduling hiccups and whatnot, but we made it happen. You know, we got here. We're live.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We're not live. But
Well,
look, you're running for city council of Star.
correct.
You and like 3 dozen other people.
Well, what I've noticed is that when an incumbent doesn't run again, people step up to the plate.
Yeah, right.
So I think you're gonna be meeting with Kevin Wheelock. He's running for city council. He's an incumbent for seat 3. I'm running for seat 4, and he's got one other person running against him. He's not gonna lose. He's amazing. But when Dave Hershey isn't running again, which by the way, I have his full endorsement. I also have Kevin Wheelock's full endorsement and statement. So. Anyway, I'm supported by. I got some people that are in my corner. Yeah.
So look, why though?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
The mayor suggested that I run. Kevin Wheelock of the Star City Council suggested I run. Dave Hershey suggested that I run. Kevin Nielsen suggested I run, and Jennifer, who's on the city council as well. I don't know her as well. She's good with me running. So I felt like, okay, if these people are telling me I should run, then maybe I should run. I'm passionate about the city that I live in. I love it. We've had property in Star since 2005 or 7, somewhere in there. It's been a while.
Early adopter.
Yeah, big time. And yes, I have seen growth in the city of Star. By the way, if I might add, I come to you unscripted, unrehearsed. Yeah. I don't have any paperwork in front of me or anything like that, just by way of information. So
let's do this. Of course, I really appreciate that. Not scripted, not rehearsed. We don't have a lot of canned answers here.
Right.
Let me ask you this: what is it about Star? Like, what do you love about Star, and what do you hope to contribute?
Yeah, good question. So people are attracted to Star, and for various reasons. Right. When we got there, we loved the rural concept that it had at the time.
Right.
We had a couple acres and built our home on it, and it just had a cool vibe. It was a subdivision, but it was also this sprawling subdivision that was just beautiful, and we loved it. And then you had Star, downtown Star, that had this small kind of quaint vibe to it. And I think even with the growth, it still has that small hometown vibe to it that people are really attracted to. And I want to be a part of that. I think it's, I love the city that I'm in, that we live in. I have a horse. I ride through town regularly. And it is a highlight of people's lives when they see a dude on a horse riding down State Street. People are honking, waving horns, taking pictures like this is, and there's license plates from all over, right? From different states, and they're just digging it. And I love that. I also every year, just so you know, dress up as Santa Claus and ride through town. I go through, yeah, right, on my horse, and I visit all the, the stores and the different mom and pop shops, and I just go and park in front of their stores and give them an opportunity to take pictures and have the kids come around, and I hand out candy canes, and it's just awesome.
Dude, I'm feeling like a bad citizen sitting next to you. I don't do any of this. I don't even have a horse. Talking about the type of culture that values and allows, riding a horse down Main Street, essentially, right? There are cultural things that Star has that are very classic and have been there for a long time. And with the giant influx of people coming into the area, there is a concern by some that it's like, look, are we going to lose our culture, right? I had Mayor Chadwick on about a year ago, and one of the things he said is every single year around duck hunting season, it's, people start freaking out because they see guns and they hear, shotguns going off, and he's like, listen, this is part of what makes Star. Yeah. So considering that, what do you think can be done to continue propagating and preserving the Star culture?
Yeah, great question. Those guns bring joy to my life. I love hearing those men and women along the river, the Boise River, in Star, hunting ducks every year. It wakes me up every year early in the morning, and I absolutely love it. I'm a hunter myself, so I love it. Now, growth, what I'm learning as I get more into the politics of the city of Star, which is still very new to me. I look forward to listening a lot before I move with what I know.
Sure.
But what I do know is that growth is inevitable, and growth is going to happen whether we want it to or not.
Right.
I think it's the mayor and the city council's responsibility to do it just that responsibly. But I also know that owner property rights is a big deal in Idaho. And to say that we want to slow down or we want to stop, growth is, you can't do that. And because what you're doing is you're saying you want more government in your life, when it comes to the city, and less control by the owner. So you can't have it both ways. So property rights are a big deal. And if someone owns 100 acres in Star and that owner wants to sell it to Corey Barton, he has every right to sell it to Corey Barton, and he can do that. And now Corey Barton owns that property. He has a right to do what he wants with his property. So now it's just a matter of going through the city and determining just what he can do with his property and making sure it falls within the parameters of what the city has set up.
Right. So a lot of people, and I think that's a great point. A lot of people talk about like, oh, I'm going to slow growth, or I'm going to. It's like you're not gonna slow.
You can't do that.
You're not gonna. But there is a very real role, or I would ask you, what do you think the real role is of the city government when it comes to saying, dealing with transition areas and dealing with zoning and things of that nature to structure growth?
Yeah. So, maybe this answers your question. I don't know, but I know there's 4 pillars that the city really kind of holds its hat on, and that would be growth,
right,
police, budget, and parks and recreation. Basically, those are the four babies that the city kind of wraps their arms around. That the city council and the mayor wraps their arms around, and it's focusing on those and making sure that those are done correctly, if that answers your question. Yeah.
Right. And obviously you're going to have to, as you're planning out like a master plan or, overall plan, what's that called? Comprehensive plan. There it is. As you're developing the comprehensive plan, obviously, like you're not going to allow a 3-story Chinese food restaurant to go in residential areas.
Right.
That's the whole, but like if it fits within that residential plot, then
correct.
It is
what it's going to be. Right. Yeah. So Star has, I don't know, I think it's 5 pizza joints. In our little town, we have 5 pizza joints. But if someone owns property and it's within the city parameters to own open a 6th pizza joint, by golly, that dude or gal can open a 6th pizza joint.
You don't look like a man who eats a lot of pizza. Are you a big pizza guy?
If it's got lots of chicken on it.
Lots of chicken?
And the crust is made of, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm not a big, like, the whole barbecue chicken craze
No, I
that
don't-
hit in like the early 2000s. They're like barbecue. And then they got into that like white sauce pizza. Like, it's like, just give me a pepperoni and a marinara, man.
right.
Like, just don't get so clever. It's
too much.
It's too much. It's too much.
But there's something for everyone. So there you go.
There is. You got that sea salt creamery too. Oh, get out.
So good.
It's like, come on, man. That
good.
Toontown area, that little strip
Mm-hmm,
is, I remember seeing that a couple years ago and thinking like, dude, that's wild.
It is.
Somebody really put a lot of effort into making, like, it's fun. You drive past there and you're like, that's just fun. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. It's part of that hometown vibe, you know.
Yeah.
For the longest time, it sat kind of by itself. There was nothing to the left of it or to the, to the right of it. Still kind of nothing to the right of it. But as you face Toontown, but it does, it has that small town hometown vibe. And I thought for the longest time, I'm like, man, this just looks so odd in the middle of Star, but it's a great place, and I love the creamery. It's good.
Yeah, those businesses are awesome. When we're talking about businesses, especially, bringing up that, there's an anxiety with areas that have such substantial growth, specifically residential growth, that residential growth will push out potential industry or push out potential commercial, or that the commercial and industrial areas just will not keep up, and the town will slip into some of the pitfalls of becoming a bedroom community with no real tax base outside of like impact fees and permit fees and things like that. What do you think can be done within Star to prevent that? Or should it even be prevented?
Well, good question. I don't know the whole answer to your question. I'll learn. But what I do know is Star seems to attract businesses. I think they do a good job of it. I think they recognize also that the community of Star, the residents of Star, do a good job of supporting local businesses. And they do really well. There's this kind of good symbiotic relationship between homes and businesses. I don't know. Maybe it goes back to the growth thing that we can't necessarily stop what is built.
Sure.
So, but for now, what I do know is it's an attractive place for businesses to come to.
100%.
And so. For now, it's a good thing. What happens in the future, I don't know. I hope to be a part of that and have dialogue with the community about it.
Yeah, so I gotcha. Can we just talk for a brief second about the fire district?
Yeah.
The city council can do a lot of things. One thing it can't do is deal with the fire district, because that is an independent entity, and the people of Star are going to have to decide if they want in or out of more fire service.
Yeah. It's a hot topic. And I think everyone, not just in Star, but in general, we are getting nickel and dime to death, I call it, where things are going up. Prices are going up.
Sure.
Everything is going up. Home values are going up. Everything's going up. And now you're wanting to, impose more money on my bank account to increase fire. It's not a lot of money per se, but it has been for enough people, enough residents in Star to go, I'm not buying this. But we are growing significantly, and one little station is not going to cut it. And I'll tell you, if I'm in dire need of emergency services and they can't get to me, I think the residents of Star need to realize, okay, I'm in dire need and I need EMS services, and they can't get to me within a reasonable amount of time because they're coming from here and I live over there and it's a long ways away. That would concern me as a resident too, and it concerns me as a resident in Star. And so I like the idea of having a new station in Star. It makes sense. I recognize it's going to be a little more money on my property taxes, but I think overall it's a good thing.
I had another person from Star in yesterday, and he actually brought, this was wild, he brought his property tax from 2020 to now, and it has dropped 50%.
Correct.
One of the
growth,
yes, exactly. Because once 389 passed and Star was expanding, again, 389 reduces how much the budget can increase on an annual basis. Okay, so it can only go up a little bit. And as you increase the number of houses around, those houses aren't just de facto each getting like 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000. They all split up the total cost of the budget. If you have 10 homes, they split the budget. If you have 20 homes, they split the budget 20
same
ways.
Budget.
Right, they split the same budget. So you double the number of people in Star in the last 5 years, and you only allowed the budget to go up like 30 to 40% total over that same time frame. Everybody's splitting us. Everybody's share of that budget is smaller and smaller and smaller. So he brought it in, and literally he was like, it was like a 50% decrease. The interesting thing, though, is Star has doubled in, let's say, the last 5 years, which means the people here now never experienced the higher property tax from like 2015 to 2020. They've only experienced the bare bones property tax, and they're like, growth should pay for growth. It's like, well, growth in Star dropped your property tax 50% over the last 5 years. Which just is wild to me.
It is wild. And I think the challenge or the conflict is that people are coming here and they've paid since then, right? Since the high tax,
Sure.
Their homes have doubled in price. So, if a house was worth $500,000, say, 5, 7, 20, 10 years ago, then, it's the same house is now $1 million. So they're paying more for a house, and they're like, I'm tapped out.
Right.
So I see both sides of this. Totally see both sides of that.
I don't want a dollar of like, I pay my taxes. I don't cheat on my taxes, but like, I'm not happy about it. It's not like I'm pumped that I'm paying taxes. And the idea that I would pay more, like, I'm never happy about it. You always just have to weigh, what do you want the response time to be? Like when you dial 911 and you need an ambulance, do you want the ambulance to be there? And if you don't like, I'm not a resident of Star. Like, I'm not advocating one way or another. You can do it or you cannot. It's none of my affair. But it is one of those things that, largely people just don't understand. I had a friend who lives in Star recently. He got a hold of me. He was like, listen, we've doubled the number of houses. Don't they have double the budget? I'm like, it doesn't work that way. But a lot of people coming in, again, especially from my former state, that is how it would work. If you had 10 houses and then you doubled to 20 houses, man, you got
double the money,
twice the revenue.
Exactly.
Unlimited budget. Just go crazy. Anyways, but that again is not something that the city council has levers over, right? Like that, the Star Fire District is its own entity, and that money, if people approve a funding increase, that money goes directly to the fire department. It doesn't, or the fire district. It does not pass through the city. The city never has a chance to grab part of it or anything like that. Staying on emergency service, talk to me about law enforcement. Do you think that law enforcement in Star is sufficiently funded? Are they, are there things hanging out that you're worried about?
Well, I absolutely love our law enforcement. I love it. I have multiple friends who are in law enforcement. My closest friend is in law enforcement. And because of him and his suggestion, I am a chaplain for Ada County sheriffs. And so, I should say I am, sadly and fortunately, I am the chaplain for Ada County Sheriffs right now, which is in the first one in 35 years. So I can't do it by myself, I do the best that I can to spread myself out. And I've been kind of commissioned by the sheriff and the chief deputy to focus on patrol. And so I go on ride-alongs with these guys, and I say guys and women, but I don't ride along with women officers. Just I'm married, and it just seems more appropriate to just anyway. So I'd love to have a female chaplain that can ride along with our amazing female law enforcement deputies. Excuse me, and and get to know them and let them vent and share what's ever on their mind. If they want to go down a religious route, we go down a religious route. If they don't want to do that, then we just talk life. But I am the connection between the community and the agency, Ada County Sheriffs. So I absolutely love our law enforcement enough that I volunteer my time to go and spend it with them.
Jeff, how do you have time for all this stuff?
You know,
How do you?
I'm a little bit emotional about it. I am a chaplain because one of the closer friends that I had that was in law enforcement passed away from depression, and how he passed isn't as important as that he passed away. And so it's my hope that maybe just maybe that me being one who's very interested can help someone, one of these deputies. And it had a huge impact on me. As a result, I gained one of the closest friends that I have, and he's the one that suggested that I become a chaplain. I'm sorry, that was a long-winded diversion, but I think it was a good one to share. We have amazing presence in law enforcement in Star. Our mayor loves law enforcement, and he's one who makes sure that we have the right numbers in place per, the numbers match up, how many law enforcement we have working with the amount of people that we have living. And I will say, they do drive through the community. They do drive through residences. They do make a presence to say, we're here. They're very visible. And I think that's why Star is such an amazing place to live. It's safe. You feel safer. And they're very involved. So they're not out looking for bad guys as they are. They are looking for the bad guys, but they're also making a presence because they want to be there. They enjoy serving in our area. And because they know we love them, they do an amazing work. So yeah, love law enforcement.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyway,
it is like there are a lot of organizations around here that are attempting to bridge that gap between, helping citizens understand what law enforcement goes through and emergency services go through, helping those individuals in a private manner address the burden that we ask them to accept and work through. Mm-hmm. It's such a rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I do a lot of work in tech safety for kids, mm-hmm. right? And working with the State Department of Education, and especially you have, hundreds of thousands of Idaho children run around with state administered Chromebooks, and these Chromebooks are not safe.
Yeah.
And you ask any law enforcement office or department, and they'll tell you, like, yeah, man, we have school administered Chromebooks sitting in evidence locker right now. They're charged in like horrible cases because these devices are internet connected, and they do become a conduit to the outside world, which is really scary. And so just, again, I'm not a law enforcement agent, but like I have a place here as somebody kind of connecting all of these dots. Mm-hmm. But the point is just dipping my toe into, wait, what happens on these computers? And then realizing that there are men and women who spend all day eyes wide open, sifting through some of the most horrific things you could imagine. Yeah. And then they have to go home and like play catch with their kids.
Yeah.
And again, it has really this is the closest I've worked with law enforcement before. And as a civilian, really realizing like, oh man, we ask the impossible from these people. It's just been a real eye opener for me.
There's right. So I hope to be able to, put my arms around those individuals that see that. And, you go on ride-alongs like I do with these amazing deputies, and there's some heavy stuff that they're going through, and some of them, let's just say, I would rather them use me as an outlet. I want them to vent with me. But in a general sense, they're doing a great job and they're very, very happy. But yes, there's some heavy duty stuff that they go through. And I've been on some of these meetings after high incident situations in these private meetings where these deputies and those involved with the incident share what transpired. So they're heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Anyway.
So again, it obviously big support of law enforcement. Do you think that the city of Star needs to be funding more? Do you think you need more deputies within your contract with Ada County Sheriff?
Right now, from what I can see and from what I know, we're well equipped.
Right.
And what I do know is the mayor will always make sure proportionally that we're in the right place.
Gotcha.
So as growth happens, law enforcement presence will increase. But right now, we're sitting, as far as I know, don't quote me on this, but from what I understand is that our numbers are spot on.
Gotcha. So, okay. That's important to know.
Yeah.
We've talked economy. We've talked growth. We've talked proper zoning. We've talked property rights. We've talked law enforcement. We've talked fire. Talked culture. Are we missing anything?
Yeah, don't you want to know about me?
Tell me, my guy. Apparently, you like chicken on pizza.
No, I do
you're
not.
You're a chaplain,
like
and you ride your horse with a Santa Claus outfit.
Right. Yeah, my name is Jeff Wood, and I am running for Star City Council. I'm a family man. Been married for 35 years, almost 36. We have 4 children. Our oldest is 37, which is crazy to me. Yeah.
Dude, you don't look that old.
Dude,
I'm not hitting on you or anything. You must
best friend.
moisturize or something. God.
So, yeah.
I thought we were the same age. My oldest is 13, bro.
Oh, man, you're my new best friend. Come on, just keep it coming.
Keep it coming.
No, he's 37, and he's deaf. So he's changed my life from a professional perspective. I'm a sign language interpreter by profession. That's what I do for work. He's married. His wife is hearing, right? They're adorable. She signs, with him as well. And then our whole family signs. I have, and they have 2 kids. So I have 2 grandkids. And then I have another son under him. He's 30. He and his wife live in Hawaii. Excuse me. I have a son that's 22. He is at school, BYU, Idaho.
Oh, awesome.
And he's a marketing major. He's also an MMA dude. He does MMA.
That's a hard way to make a living, Mike.
Well, it's not a living for him, but
it's an even harder way to have fun.
Right. When he does fight in the ring, he will receive some funds for that, and that helps with his spending at school or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, and then our daughter is 15.
You have a 37 to 15?
Yeah.
Oh my
right?
gosh,
Is that just
what
crazy?
A spread.
So our friends are,
holy cow.
Our friends go from being, maybe in their 70s, right? Down to their, early 30s, our friends, right? So we have this spectrum of children. Our daughter is adopted, and she's absolutely beautiful. Her birth mom, blonde hair, blue eye. Her birth father, black. And we have...
What color eyes should you get?
They're this kind of light brown color.
Okay. Yeah.
She has this just soft ringlet hair and this beautiful mocha skin, and she looks just like me.
My wife has blue eyes, and I obviously have brown eyes. Mm-hmm. And 2 of our boys got brown, and then we got 1 that had blue. And it's really interesting. My wife has fairer skin than I'm Hispanic, and she's not. She has fairer skin, and it's just really interesting to see them mix because two of the boys, like they bronze up real well, dark, and then the one other just does not.
Pale, fair skin.
Yeah, very fair. Like they're all beautiful boys, right? Like they're beautiful people, but it is interesting to see how traits tag on, and some you keep and some you don't. Yeah.
So it's interesting. Our daughter, when she was very little, she would say, "I look the most like Halston." That's our one of our sons that has more of my wife's skin tone. Yeah. She tans very easy, and he's always has a just dark complexion. I look the most like Halston. We look the most alike. And as she grew older, she's always known that she's been adopted.
Sure.
And then it's just cute for her to say, I look the most like my brother Halston.
Yeah. So I have 7 adopted siblings, and 2 of them are black, and one of them is not that dark skin. And I'm like, man, I'm dark. Like in summer, I brown up real fast. I was like, dude, come on. He's like, don't do this. He's just like, he's like, come on, man.
Stop. Yeah. So anyway, I love my kids. I love all of them. My wife is amazing. She's a retired court reporter who now sells real estate.
Oh, great.
She's got her medical assistant credentials. For a while, she's going to go to nursing school, but realized that it conflicted with our daughter's schedule going to school. And then also she's way into gymnastics. So my wife, dude,
that's like 6 hours. That's almost as bad as getting into horses. Like you have the person into dressage or whatever, and it's like they're at the barn all day. You get into gym. You're I had a student years and years ago who got into Stanford gymnastics, and she was gone. Like I would literally go to her house sometimes at midnight to help her study for calculus, because this girl was a machine, and she would go to gym at like 2:00 right after school. She'd drive an hour to get there. She'd train for 5 hours. She'd come home, and then she would like she was the hardest worker I ever met. And yeah, dude, like that's
incredibly
the life.
Disciplined.
Yeah.
So
gym life is wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But she loves it, and we support her. And the other part of that is that because she's gone 5 days a week for training, that includes Friday night, So that's one less day that I need to worry about as a dad with her, and her social life, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so, but she's so into her gymnastics. All her friends, her girlfriends from gymnastics, they all love just hanging out. And it's really, really cool to see a 15-year-old, and some of the girls are, like maybe seniors in high school. They all love hanging out, and there's this sense of innocence about them because they don't have time for the distractions that school and you know what I mean, and social media and whatnot.
You don't have idle hands.
It's so cool to see these really young women being girls still. If that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah, and I just love that. So
I try to do that. I have 3 boys, and they don't like have tech. They don't have tablets. They don't like. I let them play, the old Xbox. But it's really same thing. It's like it's cool to see them just digging a hole or on the floor or just playing. We call it colorful commentary baseball. So like we'll go out of the grass and we'll just hitting. And I make fun of them like a commentator the whole time. They're like, let's do colorful commentating baseball. It's fun, and it's cool. It's like the life that people mourn losing, like life from the 80s, right? Where it's like you just go out and be a kid. If it still exists, if you have parents like you, right, who are intentional about like, no, I'm going to get my kid into something that's so engaging and so great, and other people are engaged in that same thing, and they can still have that life. Now, if we don't do that as parents, it'll be different. But if we are intentional about it, then man, it's beautiful. So, sorry about that.
Yeah. So I think if your kid is struggling with stress or anxiety, all too often, a really good medicine for that is work, labor, something that the kid can like find a way to have them dig a hole in the backyard. Find a way to have them move rocks. That is a huge cure for stress, anxiety. And I'm a big proponent of that. Getting your hands dirty. is huge and healthy for kids these days.
I just finished my jujitsu room. Right, I made this big loft with 400 square feet of wrestling mat. And, I know it's not 400, it's not that great, but man, if I don't have that, it's like darkness in my life, and share that with my boys as well. It's like they'll go out there, they'll be like sweating, it's like, and they're little kids, right? They're not even that old, and they're just putting it down. Like all they want to do is wrestle around and get that energy out, and it just helps them. It helps them deal with the world, man. Yeah. That's one of it.
Levi Skidmore. I know you got to. We need to go. Do you know Levi Skidmore?
No.
Oh, he owns a jiu-jitsu gym, and he trains at Hawaii High School. So that's
very
where his
cool.
training is right now. He's their wrestling coach as well.
Oh,
that's on
I'd love to meet him.
But
no, I don't get out much. I don't go play, like I don't socialize. I don't go to large social events. Yeah. Honestly, like I don't really understand large social organizations. Like I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me because I've never been part of like a big company or something. Yeah. So, like I understand jiu-jitsu gyms, that's pretty much it. Yeah. But I also I train privately and then I, go to a couple places and that's it. But I want to branch out more because some people reach out to me from different gyms in the Treasure Valley. Yeah. And they're like, hey, you should come train. I'm like, yeah, man, I should. So get me in touch with Levi Skidmore. Like, I'd love to meet the man. Yeah. Anyway, Jeff, listen, I know we were short on time today. I really appreciate you coming in before work so early.
Thank you.
I've loved learning about you, man. I've loved learning about, the passion you have for Star and your family and what you already do for the community. And as I've said with everybody, like the willingness that you have to put your hat in the ring, that's something that, I've never done and I will not do. Because for a myriad of reasons. One, I think you'd have the greatest buyer remorse ever if you voted for me instantaneously. But also it's really hard. Yeah. It's a big ask. It's something that's very difficult that we ask other Americans to do. And I appreciate you. It's not I can't imagine it's a fun thing to do. Nobody that I've ever talked to is like, this is great. Yeah. So thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing for Star. And good luck with your campaign, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Matt.
Yep.